My name is Sue Sharp, and I am the Crime Prevention Officer here in Farmers Branch. I'm also a patrol officer, so you may see me out driving the squad car around, just around the neighborhoods, in the alleys. And if you ever need something or wave, just slow us down, and we'll be glad to answer questions anytime. Not just me, but any officers. And of course, if you ever have an issue, please call 911 and we'll be right out. I wanted to reiterate this senior adult services one more time. A lot of times, the first pathway to senior adult services is someone calling 911 with an issue, and then we get in there and we think, oh, well, we're not really sure what to do with this, and we call them and they jump right in and fix everything for us. We get to see the best and the worst a lot of times of everybody. And there's been many times when officers will get into a house for something totally unrelated. Maybe someone was burglarized, or maybe somebody fell and we happen to get out there with the ambulance to see what's going on. And next thing you know, we make a phone call and Senior Adult Services gets involved, and they just take over from there, and it's a great resource for us. And we really appreciate that. I can't tell you how many times officers have called them and said, what do we do now? And they just step right in and take over, and we appreciate that. Well, I'm here to talk a little about safety. And like Chief Fuller said earlier, the key to crime prevention is awareness. We're going to teach you to be a little bit more aware of your surroundings and be a little bit more alert. We don't want people to stay in fear. Farmers Branch in this area is a very safe place to live when you look at the great big picture. But at the same time, we do have crime here. And there's three things that, could make a crime happen. Crime triangle. With a criminal, you have desire. You have their ability. We can't control those things. We can't control someone's desire to commit a crime or their ability to do it. But the one thing that we can control for ourselves and for our community is the opportunity. And that's where I'm talking about being a little bit more aware. We're going to reduce that opportunity so that the criminal goes someplace else and not to us. And ideally, we don't want them to affect, your house, then your neighbor's house, then our city, and just keep moving out from there. But one of the key things to prevent them from picking you is to stay a little bit more aware, be aware of your surroundings, and to stay a little bit more safe. With your home, that means things like locking windows and doors, keep a nice clear path to your house, large numbers on the outside that are easily readable from the street so that if you do call for help, someone can come immediately and find you. It means keeping bushes trimmed around your house so there aren't any hiding places. Keeping the outside lit up at night so that if someone were outside, the light is a large deterrent. It's a very large psychological deterrent for criminals to be all lit up at night. Your neighbors might see them out there, you might see them out there, the passing police officers might see them out there. So they will go to another place that's darker and easier to access. So a lot of times that's where Senior Adult Services comes back into play. You've got bushes to trim, you've got things, lights that need to be put up, and you don't know who to call. They have resources. Sometimes it's a matter of just getting you hooked up with the right people that aren't going to take advantage and get you a good service for a good price. And we're always happy to come out and help tell you where, what needs to be trimmed and where the lights need to go. That's one of the things that I do for people. If you ever want a home survey and say, hey, would you walk through my house and give me some pointers? I do that. The department does that. It's a free service. Another thing that we do, the department has this property identification program. We have some brochures in the back, and if you live in Farmers Branch and you care for it, and I think the other cities have the same, we will bring out a yard sign for you to put in front of your house. And we will also deliver some barcode labels that we'll make up that will specifically be related to your name, address, and phone number, so that if your property were ever stolen, you could put a barcode label on it prior to it being stolen, and police could find it in other cities. Say something like your laptop computer, or your TV, or say if you have a Nintendo for your grandkids when they come over to play games. Something, that would normally have a barcode label on it, that the store normally sticks a label on it. You could put that on, and it would be marked, permanently marked with your information. It looks like a normal store code bar label, so the criminals don't really look for that type of thing. But we could scan it, like say if your property were found in Waxahachie or Midland or El Paso, we scan it, and they say, hey, this belongs back here in Farmers Branch, and it's a way to recover your property if it's ever found. Also, this sign is a big deterrent. Sitting in front of your house like an alarm company sign. Why would a criminal pick a house where everything's marked as opposed to something that's just a little more easy to get rid of, property-wise? In awareness, we like to talk about just your personal safety when you're out and about. Like, for example, if you're out in your car and you're driving around, just lock your doors. That way, when you arrive places, everything's locked. When you arrive, say at the grocery store, at the mall, take a look around the parking lot before you get out of your car and decide which parking place you want. If you see something that looks a little unsavory and you get that little feeling like, ooh, I don't want to park there, keep driving. Pick a better spot, or come back later. If you see something going on that it gives you the creeps a little bit, you just kind of get that feeling, heed to that feeling. I can't tell you how many times we've gone out on calls, police calls, where someone says, I knew something was wrong. I just knew it. I could feel it. I knew it. And yet, they just kind of went along anyway and didn't heed to that feeling. When you get that feeling that something's not right, that something's about to happen, that someone's a little on the shady side, go with that feeling and keep yourself safe, whatever it takes. Drive on, move your car to a different spot, ask for security, tell somebody, call the police if you need to, and ask them to, hey, come out and check this out. A lot of times when something happens, people say, I knew it, but they didn't do anything about it. Or they call us and say, it looked really suspicious, but I didn't want to bother anybody because I didn't know. Call us, we like to be bothered. A lot of times one phone call will put us onto something, and it kind of snowballs from there. So when you're out and about in your car, just be a little bit more safe. Keep your doors locked. Stay alert to where you park. When you're coming out of the grocery store or the mall, especially during Christmas shopping time when you might have bought some expensive items, gifts, ask for security to walk you to your car. They'd love to. They need to do that. It's part of their job, and it's just the store will offer that service. The last thing anybody wants is for someone to get robbed in their parking lot. They will be happy to walk you to your car. So if you just went out and bought iPods or digital cameras or gifts for Christmas for people, ask for security to walk you out, because there are people at the mall that may have watched you. Teenagers or younger people watched you buy all this expensive stuff, and now you're walking to the car. It'd be so easy to grab it from you and go. And so we ask for security and stay just a little bit more alert. Around your home, we ask, keep things trimmed up, bushes trimmed up where people can't hide. Keep it well lit. Keep your doors locked during the day when you're just home, or of course when you're not home. Keep that front door locked. Just keep everything secure. But we don't want you to live in fear. I've heard so many people say, well, if somebody knocks on my door, I just don't answer it. And I don't blame you. I don't answer mine a lot. But what I do is I call out. I let them know that I'm home, because a lot of burglaries, when they do happen during the daytime, when people are away from the house at work or out doing errands. We're here in Texas where everybody carries guns. how many times have you heard on the news that the homeowner killed the burglar when they came in? Burglars are a little bit more smart to that. They know that. They want to burglarize a house when no one's home, when they're not going to get caught, when they're not going to face a homeowner or get shot. So they'll come when there's no one home. So if they knock on the door, with some excuse that, oh, they're selling something, or I got the wrong house, if you just let them know someone's there, they'll just keep on going. You'll never even know it was a burglar there. But a lot of times what will happen is if you don't answer, knock, then they'll go around to the back and knock again, and then they'll kick that door in. It doesn't happen often, but it does happen. If you live around this area, you probably know somebody that has had their door kicked in and their stereo or TV and cameras and computers taken. So if you call out, especially if you're home alone, call out somebody else's name. If you're a woman home alone and you think, I don't want to answer the door, I don't know who that guy is, call out, hey Bill, can you get the door? They don't. Now they think there's two people in that house. Now then a moment later you could say, hey, we can't get the door, go away. And if they don't immediately leave, call 911. We'll be glad to come out and drive around the neighborhood and run them off or check out what they're doing. People can't knock on your door in Farmers Branch soliciting for anything. Soliciting for you to fix your house or mow your lawn. They're allowed to leave a little card or a flyer on your door if they have a permit from the city where we run their background check and know that they're not a criminal. But other than the religious people, we don't want anybody knocking on your door. So if they are, they're already violating the law. Call us and have us come out and check them out. And we'll be happy to do that. So, does anybody have any questions?
How do you let the religious people come and knock on doors?
Well,
it offends me. It offends me.
Yeah, if you leave something on, maybe a note out or something that you don't want to be bothered, we can't control that one small thing if they're out doing that. I'm sorry about that. We've got to follow the ordinances and.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Couldn't there be an ordinance that would stop all the nonprofits and the religious from knocking on your doors?
That would be
cold call.
Something that somebody else would have to go over. It's not something I do. I just enforce what we already have going on. Did anybody else have a question?
I don't have a question. I'd like to make a statement. Then very few of the ladies realize it. And one of the ladies in our Square Dance Club, if they're carrying their purse on their arm, carry it on this arm with cars parked here. We have a little lady about 106 pounds. I won't mention her name. She was walking along with her purse on this arm with the cars, and some kids came in a van and reached out and dragged her about 10 feet. And they straightened her arm out fine, and it took all the meat off the inside of her arm. But have that purse between you and these cars, and that's for you ladies. I carry my purse on that side too.
Yeah, that is a very good point for the ladies. When you're out, carry your purse close to your body and carry it away from the traffic. Like, for example, if you're at the grocery store and you're walking from the car to the front of the store, you don't want your purse or belongings on the aisle where the cars are going to drive by. Because someone could drive and grab your purse and keep on going. Whether or not your arm's still hooked in it, they don't care. It's an unfortunate thing. So, with purses, especially if you've got grandkids with you, you got a kid in this hand, a bag in this hand, your purse on your shoulder, sometimes a cell phone in the other hand. And criminals will look for people who are distracted, who are not alert, and who are too busy doing other things, like controlling, children, or talking on the phone, or, distracted digging for their keys. Those are good targets for criminals because you're distracted and it gives them a moment to get in close and go ahead and take your things. We recommend if someone were to actually take your purse, throw it down. Don't just hand it to them hand to hand, you're too close. If you throw it down, that divides their attention because now the purse is on the floor in front of them, so the purse is there, you're here, they're there. They can either go after you or go after the purse. They're probably going to go after the purse, and it's going to give you a second to start backing away and run. get away from there as fast as you can. When it comes between your safety and your stuff, let the stuff go. You know, they just want the money, let the money go. Don't risk your safety. Don't risk getting in a tussle with somebody where you're the one falling or getting dragged, getting hit, or worse. Let the stuff go if it comes between you and your stuff.
I would like to commend the police for responding very quickly the times that I needed to call them. And for those of us who do exercise by going out and walking, I wish that everybody knew that it's illegal for a car, truck, van, whatever, to park across the sidewalk, even at the end of your driveway. Do not, and if that happens, by this time I've memorized the non-emergency number, which is 972-484-3620, I believe.
Right.
Know that number and call them. They will come out and ticket that car, and after getting 2 or 3 tickets, they'll quit parking across the sidewalk. You also cannot have people parking across the exit of your driveway, even your own driveway, like when there's a party or something. They're not supposed to park across the exit of the driveway. So please, police your own neighborhoods where you walk, and let the police come out and take care of the people that are making it difficult for you to walk in a safe way in your own neighborhood. So far, they've been great in my neighborhood.
Yeah, that's one thing that we are very proud of in Farmers Branch, is the fact that we do have enough officers on the street to handle even the small calls. You know, sometimes in the big city, and you feel like you're in a big city because it seems like this city runs from here to Fort Worth and it never ends. But we are actually a small town, a Farmers Branch, and it's a very well-run small town, and there's a lot of support for the police department. We have very good equipment. We have very good response times. And the reason why we have such good response times is because we have enough officers, you know, on the street, and when we don't, people from inside the station will come out. Say a house gets burglarized, and we've got somebody running on, you know, it's not just the actual patrol officers that are going to go out after that guy. People from the station are going to come out, the juvenile detectives, the narcotic detectives, the deputy chiefs, you know, everybody, chief himself, are going to get in a car and get in that area, set up perimeter, and keep eyes out looking. So it's a very big group effort, and we've got extremely good response times. We beg our residents to call us early if you see something suspicious. If you see somebody in your neighbor's yard, or somebody walk into your neighbor's backyard that you know doesn't belong there, or something going on that you know is not right, you get that feeling that something's not right, this guy's up to no good, call us early. Because if you call us early and we can get out there, there's a great chance that we are going to get that crime before it even happened. Maybe the person has warrants, maybe the person's wanted someplace else, you know, or at the very least we get them identified, maybe photographed, or we can have their, you know, license photographed. We can pull up, know who they are, and now they know that we know who they are, and they're going to go someplace else. They're not. And it's very important to get us out there early. And we've got really good response times when we know, you know, and we are very fortunate that there are enough officers to get out there.